I am Dana K. White of aslobcomesclean.com and the author of Decluttering at the Speed of Life. I am going to talk today about decluttering momentum and how it makes it possible to let go of sentimental clutter, okay? How decluttering momentum is so important and how it helps. I am going to share with you 3 things that I have recently decluttered. Obviously, they're still in my home, but anyway, that are leaving my house that I have finally been able to let go of. And I'm going to talk through my thought processes. That part of the video is not prescriptive. It is not instructive, because I am not here to tell you everybody needs to get rid of the music box that your parents brought back from a trip when you were in preschool. That's not what I'm here for. And sometimes people will hear these things and go, okay, she said I have to get rid of that thing. That's not what I'm talking about. So I just want to be clear that that part of the video is not instructive. So let me do the instructive part right now. Just explain the basics. First of all, momentum is everything. You do not start getting decluttering momentum by getting rid of the thing that makes you want to cry when you think about getting rid of it, okay? You don't start there. You start small. You start with the non-sentimental stuff. You get rid of the stuff you have always hated and just don't know why it's still in your house. You get rid of junk, obvious stuff, trash. Don't start with the sentimental stuff. The other thing I want to make sure you understand is that it is possible to make a huge amount of decluttering progress in your home. It is possible to change how your home functions before you ever get to some of that highly sentimental stuff, okay? I have been doing this thing for over a decade. I know. I started in August. Oh my goodness, this video is coming out in August. I started in August of 2009. You guys, it's August of 2021, and you guys do that math. Redo the math and put it anyway. This has been going on for a long time. My house has been functional. My house has been decluttered. There's never an end to decluttering, but my house has improved so much. I can keep it under control. I've gone from, I don't want anybody to know that I'm writing about this on the internet, to writing books about it. Okay, I've come a long way, and I'm just now getting rid of these 3 things, okay? Because I got rid of so much other stuff that they had a place to be where they didn't hinder us living our lives for the last, 12 years, however long it's been, okay? So momentum is everything. And it is the momentum and the experience that I gain that then gives me a different perspective on my stuff. So the way that you feel about something highly sentimental now, the thing that you wake up in the middle of the night and go, do I really have to get rid of that if I'm going to declutter my house? That thing, don't worry about it right now, but know that the way you feel about it right now is very likely not going to be the way that you feel about it after you have decluttered in your home. After you've experienced what it feels like to live with less stuff in your house, after you have gained confidence in yourself, after you've made some decluttering mistakes and had some regrets and lived through it and said, you know what, it was worth it because my house is easier to live in now, okay? All of those things are going to make you feel differently about something down the line than you feel about it right now when it just takes your breath away, okay? Now I'm going to tell you about 3 things I have recently decluttered and how just those 3 things produced momentum. So this is a picture of me with my old ironing board. When I say old, I mean actually old. That thing, I'm pretty sure, is older than me. It has been in my laundry room for, I guess, all 15 years that we've lived here, because I actually use this ironing board, okay? This one right here, where that I'm at right now. This one, it's lovely because I think I got this in college. I don't remember. Anyway, I don't iron that much, but I do iron every once in a while and I need an ironing board. So this ironing board is so handy and convenient. Anyway, it just, is on the back of my closet door and I can iron. My dog chewed the cord. Thankfully, she was fine. It was not plugged in several years ago of my iron. And so I took this travel iron when I was, after my mother-in-law passed away. This was hers that she had taken to her assisted living. And I was like, oh, I'll use that for right now. And it turns out that it's perfectly fine for someone who rarely irons anyway. So this is my ironing board that I actually use, that I've actually been using for the whole time that we've lived in this house. And yet the whole time that we've lived in this house, that ironing board in this picture where I look super sad and pathetic, that ironing board has lived in the laundry room because it had a spot. Okay. It fit on the side of the washing machine. Okay. And so it wasn't hurting anything for it to be there. Okay. It wasn't, I never got it out, whatever, but it was there. Here's the reason it was highly sentimental, which is going to sound super weird to some of y'all, but welcome to my crazy. Anyway, when I was little, I loved ironing, like loved ironing. I loved spray starch and I was the teenager who ironed everything I ever wore. Anyway, when I was a little girl, I vaguely remember this conversation, but I was so in love with my mom's ironing board that she said, someday when you get married, I'm going to give you this ironing board. And I was like, my very own ironing board. Anyway, I forgot, but then I got married and my mom brought the ironing board to my house, which was super sentimental and sweet and lovely and all that. But I had this one that's so stinking convenient, you guys. And I love this ironing board and how it doesn't take up any space in my house and blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. And I never used that one, but it was so sentimental because it was like, I remembered this moment and I remembered my childhood and it was my mother's and she remembered and she gifted it to me when I was, a newlywed, when everything in life is sentimental and you think that you know how your life is going to go and all that kind of stuff. I just love that thing. And so I never could get rid of it. I was like, I don't need that. Like I knew I didn't need it for years and yet I kept it, but it wasn't a problem. Okay. Well, we had to have our dryer repaired about, a month and a half ago. And when we got our dryer repaired, we obviously had to move a bunch of stuff around. And so that ironing board had to come out of the laundry room. And then it became a question of, am I going to put it back? Because it's heavy. Okay. And so while it was perfectly fine while it was sitting there in the laundry room, not hurting anything, having a space that wasn't taking up space that other things needed, I, could ignore it and could pretend it didn't exist and could pretend everything was fine. But when it became a question of, am I going to actually move things around and angle it back in there, then I needed to make a decision. And I finally said, you know what? I am ready to let go of this thing that I have basically never used in this house and don't need. And I finally let go of it. Okay. And yet I was like, and I said, no, there's really no reason for me to still, y'all, that thing is so heavy. I finally let go of the ironing board. Soon after that, I was going through some boxes that, I'm going to be honest, have been there since we had new carpet and paint done. Oh my goodness, I think it's been 3 summers ago. Yeah. So it's been 3 years that a couple of those boxes have been, because we're still not done. There's still a few last things to do. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, but those couple of boxes, I had gone through them before. I'd gotten rid of a lot of stuff, but there were just a couple things. Well, the reality is that even though technically we're not done, I have put the things that I love back on bookshelves that are going to have to then come off for them to have their final little touch-ups and all that kind of stuff done. But whatever, they're full now. Those bookshelves are containers. Okay. And so because I had gotten rid of the ironing board, it just gave me a little oomph. Like I saw these things again, one of those being this little music box that, oh, does it work? I wonder. Anyway, I saw this and I thought, I don't know what I should do. And then I went, oh, my bookshelves, my shelves, all the display places that I have in this current home are full. I mean, I like them. They're not packed full, and I actually like that. They are decorated the way that I want them. They're full. And so I said, you know what? I got rid of the ironing board. That was a part of my childhood. This is also a part of my childhood. My parents went to Europe when I was in preschool. I stayed with my grandparents. They brought this back. I think that's what this is from. I loved this, but I don't have a place for it. And when I let go of the ironing board that I did not need at all, that had no purpose whatsoever in my house, and I let go of it and I said, okay, that's kind of nice to not have that as something that every time I see it, I go, what am I going to do about that? Shouldn't I get rid of that? Oh, do I really? It's fine. But I don't have to think about that anymore because it's gone. That decision was made. And because I experienced the relief of that decision, then I looked at this and said, you know what? I think I'm ready to let that go. It's in a video, so I can remember it and see it. But the truth is, it's always looked dusty, no matter what I did with it. It never really had a great actual decorated place. I am sitting here thinking I might go try it somewhere. And so if you see it in a future video, I will have changed my mind. But I'm just saying, I'm willing to get rid of this because I got rid of the ironing board, and that spurred me on because I felt the relief of not having to think about that thing anymore, and it spurred me on to get rid of something else. And then after I made the decision on this one, I'm going to go ahead and stick it in my donate box. After I did that, then on my own, or on its own, my brain went, what about that brown jug? I bought this right before I got married when I lived in Thailand, and I just loved it. But it has never really had a place in this house. I think I had a place for it in our old house. And it's moved from spot to spot. And I thought, you know what? But here's what my brain did. When I realized that it was okay to get rid of that music box, my brain immediately went to this. And I thought, if I can get rid of the music box, I can get rid of that brown jug. Because I have a blue one that's Celadon, that's much more Thailandy, okay, than this one is, and that actually fits my current decor and has fit my decor always. So this one just didn't have a place, but I just remember things from it. It's gonna go, okay? And that is the point of decluttering momentum. First of all, it is okay to not even worry about sentimental stuff as long as you have any other clutter in your house. Don't let yourself say, I need to declutter. I got to make sentimental decisions, so I'm not going to do anything. Instead, get rid of the non-sentimental stuff first. Your house will be better off for having gotten rid of the non-sentimental stuff first, of the trash and the outgrown clothes and the blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff being gone, your house is going to be so much more functional, which may give you some time on the sentimental stuff, okay? Because now that stuff isn't teetering on the top of a pile. It has a place-ish, blah, 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 whatever. Okay. Or you free up the space for you to be able to store some of these things that you're just not sure about. Go ahead and work on the non-sentimental stuff first. Know that if you get to something that paralyzes you, skip it. Move to something else that doesn't paralyze you, because you'll make so much progress in your home by just decluttering at all. And also knowing that letting go of one thing is going to make letting go of the next thing easier. With everything that you declutter, your perspective will change. Do not think that you're always going to feel exactly the same way you feel right now about each and every item. With everything you get rid of, the next thing is going to look different to you. Okay, so that's my encouragement to you. Know that decluttering momentum is a thing. It is so incredibly valuable. when it comes to getting rid of sentimental stuff or making decisions about sentimental stuff. Start just moving the decluttering ball, because that's what I picture when I think of physics and momentum and blah, 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 things I don't really know about, but whatever. Get some momentum going. Start with something easy. Start with non-sentimental stuff. Do not start with the stuff that takes your breath away, okay? I am going to put the link to an ironing board like this that I love in my Amazon influencer store, which is amazon.com/shop/aslob-comes-clean. And yeah, I mean, it's not like people don't have these, but anyway, so I just push in on this down here and it goes like this. And then I don't type on it. I don't know why I just did that. I iron. I hope that was helpful. Go declutter something easy, declutter something non-sentimental, and see the impact of momentum. I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.